Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, lived a brave and ambitious young warrior named Sir Gideon. Sir Gideon had always dreamed of becoming the kingdom's greatest hero, known throughout the land for his bravery and strength. However, despite his best efforts, he remained just an ordinary soldier, overlooked and unappreciated. Year after year, he watched other, more fortunate knights get their moment in the sun, returning from quests with fame and glory. Meanwhile, his own deeds of valor went unnoticed. As the years passed, Sir Gideon grew increasingly frustrated and disillusioned. He began to lose hope that he would ever achieve his dreams. However, one day while training in the royal courtyard, he met an enigmatic old knight named Sir Balin. Sir Baldwin was a legendary hero who had accomplished many great feats, and his reputation was still spoken of in hushed tones throughout the kingdom. Intrigued by the old knight, Sir Gideon approached him and asked for advice on how to become a hero. Sir Baldwin listened patiently, and when Sir Gideon was finished, he spoke in a voice that was both gruff and kind. "My young friend," he said, "the path to heroism is not an easy one, but if you are truly determined to become a hero, then you must never, ever give up. You must keep trying no matter how difficult the task, no matter how great the odds against you. You must have the courage to face any challenge and the determination to see it through to the end." These words struck a chord within Sir Gideon, and he nodded his head in understanding. But he couldn't help but ask, "But what if I fail? What if I try again and still don't succeed?" Sir Baldwin looked at the young knight and saw the doubt and uncertainty in his eyes. "Failure is a part of life, my son," he said. "It is inevitable. But you must not let it defeat you. When you fail, you must pick yourself up and start again. You must learn from your mistakes and use them to make yourself better. Never give up, not until you win." With that, Sir Baldwin turned and walked away, leaving Sir Gideon to ponder his words. From that day forward, Sir Gideon trained harder than ever before. He practiced his swordsmanship, honed his archery skills, and pushed himself to the limit of his endurance. He refused to let himself grow weary or disheartened, remembering the old knight's words, "Never give up, not until you win." One day, a messenger arrived from the king bearing an urgent summons for Sir Gideon. The king's youngest daughter, Princess Ilara, had been taken ill, and he needed someone brave and resourceful to go to the nearby Whisper Wood and find the rare moonblossom flower, which was rumored to have healing properties. The journey to the Whisper Wood was fraught with danger. The forest was home to all manner of wild beasts and mythical creatures, and many a brave knight had entered its depths and never returned. But Sir Gideon was not afraid. He had prepared for this moment for years, and he knew that if he succeeded, he would finally get his chance to be a hero. He set off into the forest, following winding paths and battling fierce creatures, until he finally came across a clearing bathed in moonlight. In the center of the clearing grew a beautiful white flower, its petals shimmering with an otherworldly light. It was the moonblossom, and Sir Gideon knew that it was the key to saving the princess. But as he reached out to pluck the flower, a giant spider dropped down from a tree and lunged at him. The spider was huge and menacing, and Sir Gideon knew that he was in trouble. He fought bravely, but the creature was strong and relentless. Just when he thought he might be defeated, Sir Gideon remembered the words of Sir Balin, "Never give up, not until you win." With renewed determination, he dodged the spider's attacks and struck back with all his might. Finally, with a well-aimed arrow, he pierced the spider's heart, and the beast fell to the ground. Sir Gideon wasted no time in tending to his wounds, and instead quickly plucked the moonblossom and raced out of the forest. As he made his way back to the castle, he could feel the flower's magical healing powers coursing through his veins. He had done it. He had saved the princess, and he had proven himself to be a true hero. When he arrived back at the castle and presented the flower to the king was overjoyed. He embraced Sir Gideon and thanked him for his bravery and his quick thinking. And from that day forward, Sir Gideon's name was spoken with reverence throughout the kingdom. He had become the hero he had always dreamed of being, all because he had never given up. Many years passed, and Sir Gideon became the greatest hero in the kingdom. His name was whispered in awe by young and old alike, and his deeds of bravery were sung about by bards in taverns and at the king's court. But despite all the fame and glory that had come his way, Sir Gideon never forgot the words of Sir Balin. Never give up, not until you win. And so whenever he faced a new challenge or a daunting task, he would remember the old knight's wisdom and summon up the courage and determination to see it through to the end. Now when young knights would come to him seeking advice on how to become heroes themselves, he would tell them the tale of his own journey and remind them that even when the road ahead seemed dark and difficult, they must never, ever give up. One day, while mentoring a young and eager knight named Sir Tristan, Sir Gideon noticed that his student was becoming discouraged. They had been training for months, but Sir Tristan had yet to display the same level of skill and bravery that Sir Gideon had shown at his age. Frustrated and doubting his own abilities, Sir Tristan confided in his mentor, saying, "I am afraid I will never be a hero like you, Sir Gideon. I do not have the strength or the courage." Sir Gideon listened patiently to Sir Tristan's concerns, and when his student was finished speaking, he placed a hand on his shoulder and said, "You are wrong, Tristan. You have the potential to be a great hero, but you must believe in yourself. You must have the courage to face your fears and the determination to see things through to the end. Never give up." He then told his student the story of how he had overcome his own doubts and fears to become the hero of the kingdom, emphasizing that even when the road ahead seems dark and difficult, one must never ever give up. As Sir Gideon spoke, Sir Tristan's face lit up with determination, and he exclaimed, "I will never give up. I will become a hero." From that day forth, Sir Tristan trained with renewed vigor and determination. Whenever he faced a challenge, he would remember Sir Gideon's words, "Never give up, not until you win." And with each passing day, he became stronger, braver, and more skilled. Months turned into years, and Sir Tristan blossomed into a fine young knight. He had become everything that Sir Gideon had hoped he would be, a brave, valiant, and compassionate hero. And it all came down to one simple: never giving up. So if you too find yourself facing challenges and setbacks, remember the tale of Sir Gideon and Sir Tristan, and the legendary words, "Never give up, not until you win." Keep trying, keep pushing forward, no matter how difficult the task may seem, for it is only through perseverance and determination that we can truly become the heroes of our own stories. Now listen to this super motivational story, which will inspire you to do something great with your life. Click here and watch now.